part 2 of ecosystem changes. And this part is called changing environments. Environments naturally change. This can happen very slowly or very quickly. When an environment changes, ecosystems and their species can be affected. A forest you might live near or have visited may have changed over time. Thousands of years ago, it may have been a lake. Over time, that lake dried up and a marsh took its place. As more time passed, trees, grass, and bushes replaced the marsh, creating a forest. Succession is the gradual change from one community of organisms to another. As an environment changes, succession takes place. In most cases, it takes place in stages. Communities will grow and take over for one another. Eventually, one community will become another kind of community. Succession takes place over time. Climate changes, such as warmer or colder weather, can influence how quickly succession occurs. Bare land is often the starting point. The land provides weeds and some herbs which help the soil. In time, grasslands grow. Shrubs and grasses begin to spread over the land. Shrubs continue to grow, making way for pine trees. Over time, oak and hickory trees begin to replace the pine trees. Finally, a mature forest fully replaces the shrubland. You know that dinosaurs are extinct. Did you realize that many other animals are extinct too? When an animal is extinct, the entire species has died out. It is gone forever. Species become extinct for different reasons. Climate changes, volcanoes, meteorites, and human activities may have caused extinction. The woolly mammoth is extinct. Its size was much larger than that of a modern-day Asian elephant. It was covered with a warm coat that protected it from cold temperatures. Scientists believe that most woolly mammoths died out about 11,000 years ago, partly due to changes in their environment. The Steller's sea cow is another extinct animal. Once there were nearly 2,000 of them in the Bering Sea, but sailors hunted them for food. The Steller's sea cow died out about 1768, less than 30 years after it was discovered. When the population of a species has become very low, that species is endangered. An endangered species is in danger of becoming extinct. Species that might soon become endangered are called threatened species. Sometimes endangered and threatened species leave an environment. They try to find a place where they can survive. The black-footed ferret of the western United States is an endangered animal. Once there were many of them. They eat prairie dogs and, similar to weasels they are related to, slip into burrows to capture their prey. But ranchers thought the prairie dogs were pests, and they began to kill them. With their food supplies running low, the black-footed ferrets began to die. Scientists thought that all the black-footed ferrets had died out, but when a group of them were discovered in Wyoming, scientists acted quickly. They captured the population and cared for the ferrets in captivity. Since 1991, captive-bred black-footed ferrets have been returned to the wild. Have you ever seen a fossil? Fossils are important clues to the Earth's past. They let us know that life on Earth has not always been the way it is now. Over long periods of time, species have changed or adapted. Changes in their environment cause them to do so. Today, scientists compare fossils of organisms to organisms that are alive today. What do you know about sharks? You may know that some species of sharks have a huge set of jaws. This allows them to capture and devour their prey. Now think about this puzzle. Scientists discovered a bizarre set of teeth from the Helicoprion, an ancient shark. It lived 250 million years ago in waters off of North America, Japan, and Australia, among other places. What makes the set of teeth bizarre is that they are in a spiral shape, much like the shape of a circular saw. Scientists are still working to figure out just how this set of buzzsaw teeth fit in the shark's mouth. Quick changes in a habitat can affect species that live there. Think of extreme weather events. A hurricane's strong winds can rip up trees and tear down plants. Heavy rains and huge waves can flood a community. Lightning can strike a tree and start a fire that wipes out everything in its path. These natural events can take resources away from the species that need them. But rapid events do not only cause harm. They also play an important part in keeping an ecosystem balanced. Fires clear away dead plant matter. They make room for new plants to grow. Flooded areas help fish populations grow. Like other organisms, people interact with their environment. We get water, food, and shelter there. But unlike other organisms, we can change the environment to meet our needs. For example, we clear land to build houses or roads. We cut down trees. When we change the environment, we can upset the balance of ecosystems. The waste products we make disturb ecosystems too. We pollute the air and water with these products. With our cars and factories, we release harmful chemicals into the air. Plants can die from those chemicals. The animals that need those plants might lose their food and shelter. When one action takes place, it affects others. When waste and chemicals get into lakes, rivers, and oceans, our water becomes polluted. Some substances get into the water through sewer systems. Some chemicals are useful for killing insects or helping plants grow, but they can be harmful too. Rain washes the chemicals from the land into our water. These chemicals can kill fish and other animals and plants that live in the water. Sometimes when oil is being drilled or shipped, it is spilled. The ocean's plant and animal and habitats, such as this seabird, can be harmed. Garbage, litter, and other things pollute our land. Did you know that in the United States, every person tosses out about 2 kilograms or about 4½ pounds of garbage each day? Most of that trash is dumped into landfills and covered up with soil. Land pollution also occurs in the disposal of hazardous waste. Hazardous wastes are substances that can hurt humans and other organisms. They can be poisonous or cause diseases. They could even start fires. At one time, hazardous wastes were placed into barrels and buried, but some of the wastes leaked out. They damaged the habitats where they were buried. Today, laws require that hazardous waste disposal follow strict rules. Strip mining is a way of getting coal from under Earth's surface. Big machines dig up layers of soil to get to the coal. This leaves behind huge holes. Rocks and soil are kept into ponds and rivers, upsetting those ecosystems. Now there are laws that require mining companies to put back the rocks and soil that they removed. This is called reclamation. It helps restore habitats. You have learned that living things depend on one another and on their environments. You know that changes in an environment will affect all living things that inhabit it. It is true of the environment in Yellowstone National Park, and it is true of your own environment as well. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed that. That's the end of part 2.